Alright, so let's address the elephant in the room for just a minute here. As hard as it is to admit, we've all been there where we're in the middle of a feud with somebody. I mean, some might call it friendly competition, others a love-hate situation, both of which translate very well with everything that person does. Just makes me wish I stayed home today. But I'm a team player. Oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, that. And, you have some good friends here. Some of us are lucky to have a friend who is like the fly on the wall that knows everything for some reason. I don't ask questions, but they heard from a friend of a friend that somebody has beef with you. And in my opinion, the only appropriate response to that is, well, tell them I'm a vegetarian. I ain't scared. 2008 music was the best, wasn't it? Yeah, it brings me back. But speaking of feuding, this whole Kanye West and Pete Davidson thing, it's getting kind of out there. I mean, one moment it was about something entirely different, but the story's always changing. Like I heard now it's like this whole debate of which came first, the wheel or the door. I don't have an answer, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, as strange as it may sound, sometimes I miss the old me, you know? Like, I get nostalgic for the person I used to be, you know? Like, the ambition, the admiration, just being that goofy 17-year-old doing what this goofy 25-year-old does to this day. Anyway, I sometimes think about it, and it would be very cool if I could just have a conversation with my past self. In fact, I actually keep my old number in my contacts. I wonder what it would be like. I wonder what would happen if I call it. Yeah, let's find out. Hold on. Hello? Oh, wow, that's my voice. Yeah, is this Rob? I was in the middle of filming an episode. Oh, then perfect timing, that's awesome. Listen, I won't keep you long, but I'm you 7 years in the future. And guess what? I'm in the middle of an episode 2, man. It's okay. I was expecting more enthusiasm, but yeah, we got a bit of a following now. Yeah. Okay. And you know what else? People actually find you funny in the future. Alright. Bye. Hello? Never Stop Not Stopping Season 1 me. So I just read this on Twitter because I'm out of touch apparently. But Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott recently decided they wanted to rename their newborn baby because they felt like his name was no longer Wolf. Yeah, I mean, rich people and what they name their kid. Like, can you imagine setting up play dates for Blue Ivy and X-A12 over here? And, you know, while we're at it, whatever happened to Francis or Rebecca, Dominic? I mean, even Gary wants to be invited to the play date, even though he's balding and has a mustache at 7 years old. But, you know, Gary likes to have fun, you know? Whatever that was. Well, you know, aside from that, at least they caught this or decided to change their mind while he was still a newborn. Like, at least he wasn't 8 years old, and then one day you're picking them up from school, and when he gets in the car, he's like, "Oh, sweetie, how was your day?" You know what? We'll talk about that later. Listen, your name is no longer Justin, it's Grant. But why, Ma? I just can't even with J names right now. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, we talked about decision making earlier this season, but shouldn't there really be a time window or a grace period for changing your mind after you already made the decision? Take ordering food, for example. You're just waiting in the drive-thru line like a boss, and you finish up your order, but as you're pulling up to the window, you have a sudden change of heart and decide, yeah, can I add another fry to the order? They look at you for a second, but let's face it, they're not going to say no, because they need this job. But you are holding up the line, however, and someone behind you has like 6 minutes left on their 30. What does that have to do with you? That's all them. I mean, they decided to take a majority of their break in the break room and decide, I want fries. So, yeah, it's not your fault that they're not meeting compliance. But just imagine you already paid for your food, you already made the transaction. McDonald's doesn't have a return desk, even though it would be really cool if they did, because a crew member could use a fillet of fish every now and then. But I can already hear someone be like, I don't like fillet o fish though. Then just eat the bun then. I hate it here. I hate you here too. How about this? Remember a few years back when they were giving the wrong nominees the award by mistake, and then they had to take it back and give it to the actual winner? I guess my question, and I have a lot of them, but why'd they let them celebrate so long before sending in the messenger? Let's call her Janet or Gary. Yeah, Gary's back. No relation. But Gary now has to go up on stage and explain that they gave the presenters the wrong envelope. And those smiles that the false winner have turn into looks of disappointment. Like, now they gotta go home and be like, oh man, there goes my EGOT. Like, what am I supposed to do with all these MTV Spacemen and Kids' Choice blimps? EGOT, you say? How far along are you? The letter E? If you follow me anywhere like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, my backyard, yeah, anywhere, you may have seen that I posted dates for episodes that are coming out in April. Yeah, there they are, right there. And less than 24 hours, I changed said dates. Yeah, April 22nd apparently has a good lawyer, so I couldn't reschedule that day. But it is Taylor Swift's favorite day, after all. I don't know about you. And yeah, I ended up canceling the show that I had planned on April Fool's Day. That's a shame, because what I planned on doing was telling Rod that he could host the show that week. You mean I'm not hosting the show the first week of April? Well, no. It was all in fun though, Rod. All in fun. By the way, I know this is the third consecutive show that I've been on, but oh, you want to be that way, huh? Rod, we were just having fun. Yeah, just fun. So listen, I left you a little present in your lockbox over here. Rod, why are you going through my stuff? Why don't you open it? I'm scared. I don't want to open it. What are you, chicken? Chicken? First off, that's not the noise a chicken makes. Second, I just don't want to open this in the house. Fine, suit yourself. Hey, could you do me a favor and yeet me over to the couch over there? Yeah, sure, it'll be my pleasure. Yahoo! I never said I was a ventriloquist, ladies and gentlemen. But I've been to like one too many orientations and safety meetings to be oblivious enough to open this indoors, so why don't I just take this as far away from the house as possible? Come with me. Well, we got a lot of show to fill, so that being said, I'm gonna need a minute. Now, I don't know why I'm like this, but I have categories for how I like to communicate with people. Like, it was just a random epiphany, or just to say, how you doing? Like, it's cool, we can text. Information disclosure. I don't mind. It could be an SMS, an email. I'll read it either way. But if I have an idea that I'm trying to expand, I just think it works best if I have another voice. So I like to call for that. But recently my feedback has been the same on my last few ideas. Yeah. So I have to keep note that the feedback is always, please leave your message for. While I'm on the subject, whatever happened to custom voicemails? Anyone else feel this way? I mean, you try to call someone and it goes to voicemail, and then minutes later they leave you a message saying, just text me. I mean, that's the signal, or at least this is how I take it, that's a signal that, yeah, this is too complex to explain in text message, so I'm sure you'll see it on Facebook. Unrelated, but apparently they say that if you're nice to Siri, she'll be more motivated to help you. But Alexa, on the other hand, completely opposite. I mean, they're used to people not saying please and thank you. The more you know. It's time for that weekly list known as the possibility list. It's kind of like heating soup up in the microwave on the popcorn setting. Alright, this week's list is titled 7 Rejected Lucky Charms Marshmallows. No hesitating with this one whatsoever, because it's weird. And at number 7, the Shamrock Shake. Number 6, Pink Fuzzy Dice. Number 5, the Magic 8 Ball. Number 4, Eyelash. Number 3, Pennies. Number 2, Salt Shaker. And number 1, 7 Rejected Lucky Charms Marshmallows. Black Cat. Alright, and that is the possibility list for you this week. Well, that is the show for you this week. You know to follow me on social media. Until next time, why put off tomorrow what you were supposed to finish 4 months ago? Yeah, that's a really good question. Well, anyway, I included the ingredients I used to make that slime in the description below. That is my time. Have a good one.